Our friend Joel Klatt has released his newest mock draft on FoxSports.com, and he has Sam Darnold going #1 to Cleveland. Let's take a look at the top 6. The Giants take Saquon Barkley. The Jets go with Baker Mayfield. The Browns take defensive end Bradley Chubb. The Broncos draft Denzel Ward, and the Bills trade up for Josh Allen. Joel also has Josh Rosen going 8th to the Cardinals. So, Shannon, do you agree the Jets would take Baker Mayfield over Rosen and Allen?
No, I don't agree that they will, and I don't think that they should, because everything that scares you about Baker Mayfield becomes heightened in New York City. I believe the Jets should take a quarterback, just not that quarterback. He has some of the smallest hands at 9 1/4, and I know people say, well, Drew Brees has small hands, but Drew Brees played in San Diego, and he plays indoors. So that's a whole different ball game. Josh Allen had the biggest at 10 1/4, 10 1/2. So you want someone in that inclement, because last I checked, it's not 70 and sunny most Sundays in New York. So that's going to be a problem with him holding on to the ball. And you also play in New England. You also play in Buffalo. So you're going to basically get a couple of games, because you do play in Miami, but, everybody beats up on Miami, Joy. Unfortunately, and I'm sorry to share that little news with you. But we've seen guys that have problems with immaturity, and they go to New York, and what happens? The Giants are dealing with one on a regular basis, Skip, and he happens to play receiver. Can you imagine if Odell was a quarterback and it exhibited this type of behavior? Well, I know. Well, he's gonna. No, I'm just telling you what I've seen, and I just think the thing is for me, and I think Eli fit the Giants. But even if the Giants had not selected Eli, Phillip Rivers would have been okay because of his background. How would you have wanted to put Ben Roethlisberger in New York together? Nah, probably not. So that weighs into where a guy goes, especially if he has issues with immaturity. So for me, Baker Mayfield would be a no at 3.
I tried to tell you Monday. It's going to happen. And Joel is on the right track. Joel has seen the light. Broadway Baker is going to happen. Mayfield does Manhattan is going to happen because Baker Mayfield is just what the doctor ordered for the Jets at this point in their existence, because they have been down and out of the news. And Baker Mayfield, trust me, will dominate the back page headlines of the New York tabloids starting in training camp if, in fact, the Jets draft him. And I believe they will, and I believe they should, because he is the readiest to play of all these quarterbacks. And I agree with all the off-field red flags that have been raised, and I have all my concerns too.
But you blowing through the red lights. You just going to just buy like they don't mean nothing this time.
Sometimes you got places to go.
Leave earlier.
Shannon?
Yes.
The kid can play.
Oh, I have no doubt about that.
He can play. And I call him a kid, and he's only 22, but sometimes he acts like he's 32, and sometimes he acts like he's about 16, maybe like he just got his driver's license and he's blowing through the red lights. And do I trust him after hours? Would I trust him in Manhattan? Probably not.
Hold on. So let me. I want to make sure I'm hearing you. Don't take me apart real quick. So So let me get this right, Joy.
Well, those got like tortoiseshell interiors.
That's horn.
Yeah. Oh wow.
That's that real stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
That's that real stuff.
How much did you pay for those?
Don't skip.
Huh?
I told you, my grandpa used to say, boy, you be as cheap as you want to. Don't be cheap to yourself. Treat yourself real
now you look weird without your glasses.
I'll put it back on. I'll put it back on. Skip, you just said you have some concerns about him in the Manhattan nightlife.
I do.
But you still would take it. So
okay, look, here's the difference so far between Baker and Johnny Manziel. That's the obvious and apt comparison.
Okay.
Johnny fell to substance abuse.
Right.
And I won't even define all the substances, but it was substance abuse, and that can start with alcohol, obviously. So far, to my knowledge, Baker has not fallen to anything but alcohol abuse, occasional abuse, where he got arrested for public intoxication after fleeing the police and getting thrown against a brick wall.
That should concern you.
Fayetteville, Arkansas. That was in Fayetteville, Arkansas, let alone Manhattan.
Dude got a flashlight and a gun and flip-flop chasing down before he...
Well,
so what DN can he escape from? Go ahead.
You know, that worries me a whole lot more than crotch grabs or, you know, social media posts as they go to Baylor, like, who's your daddy, and kids in town and all that. I get all that, but I do like he plays with the biggest chip on his shoulder I've ever seen, bigger than Johnny's chip on his shoulder at Texas A&M. He is much more accurate than Johnny was with a liver arm than Johnny had. So he's a better thrower of the football.
He made most of his plays in the pocket.
He does.
Johnny made most of his outside of the pocket.
He did. And Baker can buy time in the pocket because
Correct.
he has elusive feet. He's not fast down the field. He's not going to, you're not going to call running plays for Baker Mayfield, but he can buy time in the pocket to give him a little more of an advantage, a lane to throw through at 6 feet and 5/8 of an inch, which is 5/8 of an inch taller than Drew Brees is. And I got you on the little hands, but I'll give you the big hands with Josh Allen. I just don't love what I've seen so far. Is he a project in 3 years? Could he start to be something? He's way behind where Carson Wentz was. Carson Wentz was much readier to play from what I saw in that championship game they played in. That was the only time I ever watched him on TV. I watched Josh Allen 3 times on TV, and I just didn't like what I see. I don't like the inaccuracy, the lack of poise, the lack of feel.
And not to say this is going to happen, but I know. But Tom Brady was a project. They took him in the 6th round. They didn't think Tom Brady was going to be this, and so now we have the luxury of looking back and saying, "Wow, look what he became."
Okay, but Charlie Weiss has told us the second he stepped on the practice field as a rookie, they're like, wow, he is acting like he owns our practice.
Right. They like the command that he displayed.
Right.
They like the professionalism that they had, and they had no red flags of no off-the-field behavior.
Red flag.
So he went there with the sole purpose of saying, you know what, I'm going to be the Patriots franchise quarterback. There's certain behavior that I must exhibit to show them that moving forward that they can trust me, that when I go home, they're never going to get a call and have to hear about Tom Brady. Are you sure that's going to be the case with Baker Mayfield?
You know what's funny about all this? On the field, he's a risk taker, but he's not a mistake maker. So I like all that off-field erratic behavior, whatever you want to call it. It sometimes manifests itself in his performance because he'll try things where you say, "Uh-oh, look out!" Yet he only threw 6 interceptions last year. So he's an efficient gambler, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's why I like him, because he led the nation effectively in raw QBR the last 2 years. Well, that's taking into account that you're not making any mistakes.
Right.
He doesn't fumble. He doesn't. You can't sack fumble. He had a couple, but not. He just doesn't do it regularly.
Right.
He protects the football. And I still say against Georgia, he played a great first half. He threw for 202 yards against one of the best defenses. It's a top 5.
You better be glad he didn't get a hold of old St. Nick.
Yeah.
Ain't no telling what would have happened.
Torch that secondary, because they always get.
He might have been an early 3rd round pick if he'd got a hold of St. Nick. 100 yards passing. That's all he give it.
Well, unfortunately, Georgia got a hold of Lincoln Riley's play calling, because late in that game, they kept trying to trick Georgia, like outwit them, and it just didn't work. So again, did I love what Baker did late in the game? I did not. He never took over the game. He never transcended the game. But Lincoln Riley kept calling trick plays.
Don't do that, Skip.
Well, he did.
You commended
it.
it.
I know it. I did not commend
No,
it.
you love Lincoln Riley.
Well, I did until the overtime.
Well, you were happy that they got rid of Bob Stoops.
Was I? Well, look at the year they had. That was pretty good.
Bob Stoops won a championship. His first or second year, didn't he?
1999.
It's in the book.
It's in the book.
When the last time you won a championship? 1999. But old St. Nick got 5 of them things.
Yep. Well, he's had a lot of crashes and burns, but that's okay. St. Nick.
No, don't do this. Don't do that.
Huh?
Don't do that. The man been there for 12 years and got 5 titles. And lost in the title game and went to the Alabama Invitational.
You realize you're going to get haunted by this, because Baker Mayfield's going to the Jets at number 3, and you're going to have to deal with it.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why Tom Brady keeps walking to the Super Bowl. Because he got the Jets, Miami, Buffalo. Don't have to play. That's 6 wins right there. 5-1 at the worst.
Tom Brady, meet Baker Mayfield. Here we go. Twice a year.
Come on, Patriots.
You think Baker Mayfield will be afraid of Tom Brady?
Oh, you're a Patriots fan again?
Yep.
You're going to stop pretending like you're an Eagles fan?
No, Carson Wentz, my favorite player. That's me and Braun's favorite player.
Yeah, Wentz in a lifetime, except Nick Foles makes it twice in a lifetime.
So what happens when Nick Foles follow this up with Nick Foles? When Carson Wentz goes back and wins it again, what you going to say?
Well, you just said a mouthful, because it's not going to happen.
Whoa, it's going to happen.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's not going to happen, because I got a dark horse.
Oh, you do?
I got a dark horse.
The Jets.
No, stop it.
Will the Cavs get a statement win over the Raptors tonight? We'll discuss that next.
And I won't back down.